Sometimes, in the world of royal jewels, an ornament appears that does not just sparkle under the spotlights, but tells a story, personal, cultural, almost fairy tale-like. And that is when I always think of one very special tiara. Queen Margaret II, then still in the prime of her reign, received a gift that instantly became a legend. This is the one and only Naasut, a tiara you simply cannot mistake once you have seen it. Romantic, right? Of course it is, because Naasut is not just jewelry, it is an ode to Greenlandic nature. The flora of Arctic lands, harsh yet touching, inspired the work of jeweler Nikolai Appel. He created a true golden tapestry made of dozens of tiny flowers, each looking like a miniature sculpture when you view it up close. And if you try to guess where the rubies and diamonds are hidden, you will not find them right away. They are set in such an artistic way that they become part of the texture. And this is exactly what, in my opinion, makes the tiara one of the most modern and at the same time one of the most romantic in the royal world. But there is one detail that amazes me the most. The gold for Naasut was mined in the Greenland valley of Kirkisbedalen, and not just any gold. It came from metal that had been used to mint coins made especially for the International Polar Year. Even the material of the tiara carries a cultural code. And what is even more charming is that Margaret herself took part in creating the piece. And you can feel it in the lines, in the flow of the shapes, in how organic the composition looks. The Queen has always been not only a monarch, but also an artist. And that creative streak of hers became part of Naasut. When Margaret first appeared in this tiara at the New Year reception in the year 2013, the audience gasped. And honestly, I completely understand why. Usually on that occasion, she wore the pearl peru or the famous Danish emeralds. But Naasut looked like a challenge to tradition. Warm, personal, yet bold. Since then, the tiara has become one of her favorites. You could see it at the banquet in honor of the state visit of the President of Iceland in the year 2017, and at the celebration of the 50th birthday of King Frederick, then still Crown Prince, in the year 2018. And even though Margaret and Mary have always had genuinely warm and sincere relations, just look at their photos together. There is no way to fake that. She never handed this tiara over to Mary. And honestly, I understand that completely. Some things are simply too personal. When the exhibition The Queen's Jewellery Treasures opened in Amalienborg in the year 2022, Naasut became one of its central stars. And no wonder. It weighs about 1/4 kilogram and is valued at around 40,000 euros. And its box is a work of art in itself, created by Appel together with woodworker Martin Fenhan. Everything from the shape to the smallest detail shows how seriously they approached this project. And what is especially delightful is that Naasut harmonizes beautifully with the Danish gold and turquoise set, a rare quality, because not many tiaras can play so organically with the color of the metal. This highlights its versatility, modern yet not demanding, impressive yet never loud. And if you think Naasut is Margrethe's only floral masterpiece, here is another surprise. The Queen is a great lover of jewelry art, and one of the most unusual pieces in her collection is the Amapolas tiara. This time, it is not northern flowers, but lush golden poppies made by artist Arja Grist. And again, you can see Margrethe's influence. According to legend, Grist was inspired by her own drawings of the gardens of Frederiksberg. This piece looks like a painting come to life. Golden petals, Baroque pearls, moonstones, aquamarines, tiny diamond insects, and even pendants of Danish amber. In my view, it is one of the most poetic and imaginative tiaras ever created.
Margrethe wore Amapolas on special occasions, at the dinner for King Juan Carlos and Queen Sofia in the year 1980, And later, at the reception for the wedding of Frederick and Mary in the year 2003. And here too, you can feel her character, warm, artistic, a little whimsical in the best sense, but always very sincere. Today, after her abdication, most jewels passed to Queen Mary, but Naasut and Amapolas remained with Margrethe. And honestly, as someone who adores royal symbolism, I think this is absolutely right. These two tiaras are part of her personality, her taste, her story. They belong to her as much as her watercolors, her theatre costumes, or her translations of Tolkien. And watching how this remarkable harmony is preserved in the Danish royal family, respect between generations, warm relationships, a sincere interest in one another, you realize that jewels here are not just symbols of status, but symbols of continuity. They carry history, but they keep a soul. And tiaras like Naasut remind us that true luxury lies in meaning, in love of culture, and in the emotions we invest in the things we cherish.